10 Stoic reminders to tell yourself every day. What if your strength wasn't something you had to find, but something you only needed to remember? What if peace doesn't come from controlling life, but from the words you speak to yourself in its quietest moments? And what if the way you talk to your mind shapes the world you walk in? In the philosophy of Stoicism, words are not decoration, they are direction. Every phrase you repeat in your thoughts becomes a blueprint for how you live, how you act, and how you suffer. The Stoics didn't leave us motivational quotes, they left us practical tools. Mental armor, inner code, because life will test you. It will bend your patience, shake your plans, stretch your capacity, and in those moments when the storm rises and the noise grows, what matters most is what you say to yourself. Do your thoughts bring you back to strength or back to suffering? Do your reminders empower action or excuse avoidance? The Stoic path isn't about perfection, it's about presence. It's about meeting each day with awareness, with discipline, and with reminders that return you to who you are and who you've decided to become. These 10 affirmations are not wishful thinking, they are mental weightlifting. And if you practice them daily, not just with your mouth but with your choices, they'll carry you through anything the world throws at you. Let's begin. Affirmation 1. I am capable. There will be days when your strength feels invisible, when the weight on your shoulders grows quietly, when the voice inside you says, maybe I'm not built for this. But that voice isn't truth. It's fatigue. It's fear dressed up as logic. And the Stoic response to that voice is not denial. It's remembering. Remembering that everything you've survived up to this moment, every loss, every letdown, every unexpected twist, was met with your breath, your resilience, your will to get back up. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's not just philosophy. That's permission to stop waiting to feel capable and start acting like it regardless. Because capability doesn't mean certainty. It means you'll show up, even if your hands shake. It means you'll try again, even after it didn't work. It means you'll hold your head steady, not because life is calm, but because you are choosing to be. You are capable, not because of what you control, but because of what you're willing to face. Not because you have all the answers, but because you're not afraid to live the question. Try this. Each morning, whisper to yourself, I am capable, and today, I will prove it in small ways. And then do just that. One email, one workout, one boundary, one choice. Over time, these acts become your new baseline. Not because life got easier, but because you got clearer. You don't need grand gestures to validate your strength. You just need daily alignment. And remember, you've made it through every single thing you once thought would break you. That's not luck. That's proof. And you carry it with you. Quiet, steady, and unshakable. Affirmation 2. I don't need their approval. There's a hidden hunger that follows many of us through life. The need to be seen, to be validated, to be told, you're enough. And in pursuit of that, We often trade our own truth for someone else's comfort. We quiet our voice to avoid conflict. We reshape ourselves to fit into spaces that never respected our edges. But the Stoics remind us, your worth is not a group decision. You don't need applause to have value. You don't need permission to be real. Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Not because you are, but because growth often looks strange to those who fear it. When you stop needing approval, you start reclaiming your time, your voice, your focus. Because chasing approval is exhausting. It forces you to keep scanning faces for signs that you're doing okay. It makes you small in rooms where you should stand tall. It turns your life into a performance instead of a practice. But you were not born to perform. You were born to live, deeply, honestly, imperfectly. Here's the truth. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will like you. Not everyone will agree with your path. And that's okay. Because your job isn't to make everyone comfortable. It's to make sure your soul is not starving. Try this. When doubt creeps in, ask, if no one clapped, would I still choose this? If the answer is yes, you're on the right path. Live for alignment, not applause. Choose integrity over image. And walk like someone who no longer needs the crowd to keep moving. Because the moment you stop asking for permission, you start creating peace. Affirmation 3. My emotions are not my master. You feel it before you name it. The tension, the shift, the rising heat in your chest, anger, fear, disappointment, maybe grief. And in that moment, it's tempting to react, to lash out, to shut down, to make a decision in the heat of emotion. But the Stoics teach us, you are not your feelings. You are the one who observes them, the one who chooses what happens next. Marcus Aurelius wrote, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Your emotions are valid, but they are not always accurate. They are messengers, not masters. They are information, not commands. Feelings can lie. Fear can sound like logic. Anger can disguise pain. Sadness can wear the mask of meaninglessness. So your task is not to suppress your emotions, but to sit with them without letting them steer the ship. You can feel rage and still respond with calm. You can feel doubt and still take the next step. You can feel heartache and still keep your heart open. This is emotional mastery, not denial but discipline, not coldness but clarity. Try this. When overwhelmed, pause and ask, what is this emotion trying to tell me? And what do I want to choose instead? Let there be a gap between stimulus and response. In that gap, you'll find yourself. Because true power isn't found in having no emotion. It's found in not being ruled by them. You are allowed to feel, but you are not required to obey every impulse. You are not a puppet. You are a presence, and your presence is strongest when it chooses action over reactivity. So today, whisper this to yourself. My emotions may visit, but they don't get to lead. That's not resistance. That's real freedom. Affirmation 4. I am in control of how I respond. Life will challenge you. Someone will say something sharp. A door will close when you least expect it. Plans will fall apart. People will misunderstand, and in that moment, you'll be tempted to react, to raise your voice, to defend your worth, to match the chaos with more chaos. But the Stoics remind us, reaction is instinct, response is mastery. You can't always control what happens, but you always control what happens next. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That simple shift, it's everything. It's where your freedom lives. Because in that space between the event and your reaction, you get to choose. You can choose silence over sarcasm, grace over aggression, stillness over self-sabotage. And when you choose wisely, you shift the entire direction of your life. Not because the world changes, but because you did. Try this. The next time you feel triggered, pause and ask, will my response protect my peace or prove my ego? Then breathe, decide, act from strength, not reactivity. This is how you reclaim your power, not by controlling others, but by mastering yourself. So when the storm rises, remind yourself, I do not have to attend every argument I'm invited to. I do not owe everyone my energy. I respond, not because I'm weak, but because I'm wise, and in that response you rise. Affirmation 5. I've already survived my worst days. Think back to the moment you thought would break you, to the heartbreak that hollowed you out, to the loss that knocked the wind from your soul, to the fear that kept you up night after night. Now look at where you are, not perfect, but present, not untouched, but unbroken. You've already survived what your past self thought was impossible. That isn't just history, that's evidence. Evidence that you are resilient, that your bones remember how to hold you when the world does not, that even when everything felt lost, you were never really gone. The Stoics didn't run from pain. They walked through it with open eyes and steady feet. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And yet, you've lived through the real thing. You've felt it in your chest, your hands, your tears, and still, you kept moving. So when today feels heavy, when the unknown feels too wide, when fear whispers that this time is different, remember, you've done this before. And what got you through then is still within you now. Try this. Each morning, whisper to yourself, I've made it through everything I once thought I couldn't. Let that truth sit in your spine. Let it carry you forward. Calm, grounded, fierce. You don't have to pretend it didn't hurt. You just have to remember it didn't destroy you. You're still here. Not because you were lucky, but because you were stronger than even you believed. And that strength, it's not behind you. It walks beside you now. Affirmation 6. I will not be pulled into drama. Not every fire is yours to put out. Not every argument deserves your voice. Not every chaos needs your attention. But the world will tempt you daily. Someone will say something passive-aggressive. Someone will try to bait you into defensiveness. And suddenly, without realizing it, you're pulled into emotional warfare you never asked for. The Stoics teach, protect your peace like it's sacred, because it is. Marcus Aurelius said, you always own the option of having no opinion. There is never a need to turn things upside down inside out. Translation, you can opt out. You don't have to clap back. You don't have to correct every misunderstanding. You don't have to fix everyone's bad day or explain yourself to those committed to misunderstanding you. Drama is addicting. It gives the illusion of importance, but it steals your focus, your clarity, your energy. And when you finally step out of it, you're left wondering why you feel so tired. Here's the truth. Peace is often quiet. Drama is loud, and your nervous system knows the difference. So choose to step back, not to avoid, but to preserve. Step back, not in weakness, but in wisdom. Try this. Each time you feel the pull into someone else's emotional tornado, whisper to yourself, I don't have to attend this storm. Then choose the calm path, the higher road, the self you're proud to return to at night. Because protecting your peace is not passive. It's powerful. It says, I am not available for emotional theft today. And in that refusal, you reclaim yourself. Affirmation 7. This too shall pass. Pain has a way of convincing us it's permanent. When you're in it, it's all you can see. It feels like it will always be this way, always this heavy, always this raw. But here's what the Stoics knew. What time has always proven true. Everything is temporary. The joy, the sorrow, the tension, the release. Nothing lasts forever. Not even the ache. Marcus Aurelius wrote, Time is like a river. Everything is swept away. That doesn't mean we ignore pain. It means we sit with it, without letting it write the rest of our life. Yes, it hurts now, but it will not hurt forever. Yes, it's uncertain now, but clarity will come. When you anchor yourself in the truth that all things pass, you stop panicking in the storm. You stop asking, when will this end? And start whispering, until it ends. I will stay grounded. Try this. When overwhelmed, place your hand on your chest and say, this is a moment, not a life sentence. Feel your breath. Feel your body. Let it carry you through, because everything that rises fades. Everything you fear softens. Everything you're holding eventually releases, and when it does, you'll still be here. Wiser, stronger, softer in the best ways. You don't have to rush the passing. You just have to trust it will. So today, when the weight presses down, remind yourself, this too shall pass, and when it does, I will still be standing. Affirmation 8. I will not waste energy on regret. Regret is a quiet thief. It steals your mornings. It interrupts your joy. It replays the moment again and again. If only I had said this, done that, walked away sooner. But the Stoics remind us, you can't undo the past, but you can stop reliving it. Seneca said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. That means even your mistakes are doorways. Even your worst decisions hold within them the seeds of clarity. Regret becomes toxic when you use it as a whip, when you use it to shame yourself, when you let it convince you that because you messed up once, you'll never get it right again. But that's not wisdom. That's punishment. And the Stoics were never about punishment. They were about practice. You learn, you adjust, you move forward with more vision, more honesty, more strength. Try this. Each time regret shows up, ask, what lesson lives here? What would my wiser self do now? Then take that step, not as a fix, but as a declaration. I am no longer ruled by the moment I didn't know better. You do now, and that's what matters. You are not the person who made that mistake. You're the person who grew from it. And no energy needs to be wasted looking backward when everything you need is still ahead. Affirmation 9. I am still becoming. You're not done. Not even close. No matter how many times you've failed, no matter how far you've drifted, no matter how long it's taken you to get here, you are still becoming. The Stoics never aimed for arrival. They practiced presence. They didn't chase a final version of themselves. They woke up every day asking, how can I live more aligned today? You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to check every box. You don't need to wait until you're healed to live. You just need to keep showing up, choosing better, falling maybe, but rising with a little more grace. Marcus Aurelius said, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That's it. Be, try, learn, adjust, repeat. Try this. Look at your reflection and say, I am not behind. I am in process. Then carry that truth into your day. You're not late. You're unfolding. And unfolding takes time. Let go of the pressure to be perfect and embrace the beauty of being in progress. Because the best version of you isn't some far-off, flawless identity. It's the one that keeps choosing growth, even when no one's watching. Affirmation 10. I am responsible for my peace. Peace is not a gift someone gives you. It's not found in a vacation, a relationship, or a quiet weekend. It's built brick by brick, choice by choice, by you. The Stoics knew this. They practiced peace in the middle of life, not away from it. Epictetus said, no man is free who is not master of himself. And freedom isn't just external, it's emotional, mental, spiritual. That means you don't blame others for your inner turmoil. You don't outsource your serenity. You don't wait for everything around you to calm down before you finally breathe. You take ownership. You set boundaries. You manage your inputs. You say no when needed. You unplug when necessary. You protect your mornings. You guard your mind. Because peace isn't found. It's earned. Try this. Each day ask, what can I do to protect my energy today? Then honor the answer, even if it means disappointing others, even if it feels unfamiliar, even if it's hard. Because when you choose peace, you create a home inside yourself, a place that's quiet, steady, unshakable, and when the world gets loud, you'll know how to return to that place, to that strength, to yourself. Final conclusion. Your mind is the first place peace begins. You don't need to change the world to feel different. You don't need to silence every critic, erase every mistake, or win every battle. You simply need to speak to yourself differently, not with false hope, but with timeless strength. These 10 reminders aren't just words. They're anchors. They're shields. They're daily steps toward becoming the kind of person who doesn't just survive chaos, but walks through it with stillness. You won't remember all of them every day, and that's okay. Because Stoicism was never about perfection, it was about practice. Every time you affirm your worth, every time you choose response over reaction, every time you protect your peace, trust your process, release what no longer serves, you are rewriting the story inside your head. You are reclaiming your mind as sacred ground. And when that inner ground is steady, there's no storm outside that can unseat you. So say it again. Say it softly. Say it like you believe it, because one day you will. I am capable. I am grounded. I am not done. If these words reminded you of who you are or who you want to become, I invite you to subscribe to Stoic Zen. This is more than a channel. It's a space. A quiet space for strong souls. A place to return to when the world gets too loud and you need to remember what really matters. Until next time, walk slow, speak wisely, and never forget, your peace begins with you.